Welcome everyone. I wanted to kind of do a review so far this week of the Dow of the 22nd of June, and it started out really crappy for a Monday. So no news Monday, I think. So how do you live through the chop? And I think the key is to know what you can expect after you've back tested it and traded. You know what can happen if you have, say, 3 losses in a row. And I think that's where we're going here today. So the counterpunch, you're going to see some trade setups. There'll be some various colors. And for example, this one right here is green. We have 3 targets. We're going to trade a 3-position approach, target 1, target 2, and then the 3rd position will be the trailer. So, for example, here I'll click on the setup and the values. Here's an entry to go long at 66. Target 1 is 78. Target 2 is 86. And the stop is at 44. These dots here. So, if you see a really dim setup like this is a kind of a grayed out setup. It's against one of our filters. This is against our directional filter. So it won't let you take a short unless it's blue. Now, of course, that could turn, and in fact it did. You see right here, the directional turned to red, and so then that same setup right here became white and bold. So we took it. Well, didn't work out very well, did it? So we just ticked in. You may have tried to adjust slightly below that. You wouldn't adjust below the 50 moving average, and it spiked you in. So anyway, so our first loss. Well, what do you think we have here? I say a long. All right, but luckily for us, it does not trigger in. Then we get a short. Okay, so we just missed target 1, which at target 1 we go to break even plus 1. So that would have taken all risk off the trade, but I think you can see the line moving up here, stop and reverse. All right, so we've had 2 losses, and so now we're going to go long. All right. Hey, it looks like we did well here, right? These are a pretty big trade here. This system is dynamic. It did hit the target 1, and so the stop moved up and we trailed. So we got our first winner, pretty good, nice size winner. And so now we're looking for more trades, because we'll either trade till 2 target 1 winners. If we get a second target, that's full target winner, and we're done. But obviously we've got to try and get positive. We had 2 losses, so we're negative. So let's keep trading. So we get a short right here. You can see it's against the directional, so it's gray. But then it turns red for only a bar, and obviously you're going to adjust just below that 50 moving average. You can see the entry right here is at 54, and the low of the EMA is at 53. So you're 50. So probably put it down at 52. Obviously, it did not trigger you in. The low on this candle was at 54. So again, you got the 50 moving average right there. Make a 2-tick adjustment. That's just common sense trading. What we do and teach you in our live trade room 2 days a week. We get this little purple trade, trigger in, we hit target 1, target 2, and we trail out to here. But we're still down. All right, so we've got to trade again. This one's grayed out. Here's a long. No real adjusting. You're pretty much right at that high. The high of 92. You might go above that, but it doesn't matter. It triggers you in. So we trigger in long, and this one hurt because we didn't get any stop and reverse. So it was a full loss. That loss was our largest one. It was 81 ticks because, again, 3 positions. So, the entry of 91 to the stop is 64 times 3. So we're coming up. We trade till noon, and we get this trade right here. Triggers in, hits all of our targets, and trails out. So we had 3 losses and 3 wins. We lost 195, and our wins, because we didn't get a whole lot of target 2s. The market just chopped around. We're only 34, so we had a net loss of 61 today. That's doable. Certainly down from 3. If you quit after 3 losses, you'd be down 195. That's hard to recover from. But once you've traded this and tested it, you know what to expect. Because again, we may not win every day, and we did not win today, but we do win just about every week. All right, so let's move on to Tuesday and see if Tuesday is not a little bit better. And I'll give you a little heads up. It is. So here we do. We come in, again, I forgot to tell you, we start at 8:30 trading. And you see we get this grayed out setup because of the directional. Again, we teach you all this. This is, there's no black box. You know exactly what's happening. So you get the long setup right here, and we do go long, hits target 1, and trails. So again, it wasn't a full winner. Full winner is target 2. So again, we must take another trade. 2 target 1 winners or 1 full target 2 winner. That's our power of quitting on this market. So we take the next trade. There was no short, and it goes on up, hits target 1, and so we're done. So we did well that day. I don't know if I marked up how much it was, but it was 65 ticks. All right, so let's go on to Wednesday. Wednesday was kind of an interesting day. Obviously, we were in the trade room live, and there's a couple things. Let me just try and I'll explain a thing or two. The calculator, this trade came at like 7 at market. That's about 6. That's 8 a.m. New York. All right. The calculator is in it. It's thinking it. It's tracking it. You see the stops. This is the stop moving all up here. So it's thinking it's in this trade. All right. And it didn't quite get to money management. Had it would have moved the stop down, and so it would be done. So the calculator is tracking this. So you can either get in sync with this, or we talked about it in the room. TJ likes to take the next closest, newest setup, at the time, and so really there wasn't at 8:30. You still you couldn't come back up to the entry, but then you get this little purple setup, right? But obviously, look at the spike right here, right? We have a low. Let me move this over just a hair. You have a low on the candle here at 87. And then we get this purple setup with an entry at 89. Well, you're obviously not going to, you're going to adjust below 87, right? You're going to go to 86. You might even go on down to 84 because we always round around 6s and 5s. All right, I don't know if you'll go back to this swing low at 84, but in any case, you adjust below the spike, and so you don't trigger in. The low on this candle was at 89. Again, same as the setup number. So again, you're going to make some kind of little adjustment. So that saves you a nice little loss. You get possible longs here, but they don't trigger in. Then you get a short. Now notice, remember this trade here, this original trade, if you got in sync with it, you would be hitting target 1, and you may end up hitting target 2. So, boom, target. Nope, just missed target 2. So, in any case, that was just kind of, it hit, this trade, the one we hit target 1 and 2, so we were done. All right. Again, this was done in the live trade room. This was kind of fast, and so some of the people weren't able to catch it. So, if you didn't do that and you want to take the next trade, obviously, really nice trade. Hit target 1 and 2. This one, the way I like to trade it is I like to get in sync. So again, this one was a target 1 winner. So you would have had a second trade right here. But anyway, this day you gained 73 ticks. That's Wednesday. So let's move on into our final day, Thursday, because I'm recording this on Thursday. I'm sure Friday will do quite well. And wow, look at this. You love easy days like this. Setup came 3 minutes after, and you were done within 10 minutes of trading. Gained 67. So total for the week, we won 205 ticks. We lost 61 that first day, so we gained 144 ticks for the week. So pretty much Friday, no matter what happens, you're going to be positive for the week. So again, you may not win every day, but you win more than you lose, and we're usually positive every week. That is the counter punch. I've pretty much taught you the entire system on how to trade this market. Follow along. Again, the live room helps. So look forward to seeing you at our next Counterpunch webinar.